Hi, welcome to the studio. I'm just going to show you something with inks today. My inks, the Dylusion inks that I have with Ranger, which I absolutely love. So I'm going to do my ghosting technique. So for this you're going to need inks. I always tend to use 3 colours, but it's entirely up to you. I'm going to use the bubblegum pink, I'm going to use the squeezed orange, and I'm going to use lemon zest. And then I'm going to need my stencils. These are my stencils that I have in my Dylusions range. I have the large, which are 9 by 12, and I have the small, which are 5 by 8. And the large and the small, the same. As you can see, I'm not a very clean person. I like the other inks coming through on my stencils. So we're going to use stencils and we're going to use water. Lots of water when I do my ghosting. So this is one of the Ranger bottles. This is the Mr. bottle, just filled with water. It's great because it's a really nice even spray. And of course I need my trusty kitchen roll. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to do this one in my book, but and I'm going to do the whole thing. So I'm going to spray water. I like it to really blend. So I'm going to cover the page with water. And then nice puddles of ink. Don't be hesitant like this. Commit to where you're going. Don't worry about the spread. That's just gorgeous. Oh, look at that colour. So add that ink in. How gorgeous is that? Then I'm going to add a bit more water over the top. And then pick it up and make it run. If it runs, you're doing it right. If it doesn't run, you're not. And then I'm going to shut the book. So I'm going to take the whole book and I'm going to just press the pages together to transfer the ink over. And then I'm just going to roll my kitchen roll over the top. Okay. I'm just going to pick up any excess. Now I normally take a tag or a spare book page and pick up this ink for a project later on. I don't know where I would be without non-stick craft sheets. I have my entire studio and tables, as you can see, covered in them, and I have extra ones on the top. I just love them. Nothing gets ruined when we've got those. So there's my ink transferred over, as you can see. This page is slightly lighter because it was the transfer. You could add more ink on there if you wanted, but I'm absolutely fine with that. I like that. So now I'm going to take one of the stencils and I'm just going to place it on top. And my stencils have an inner, which are the backgrounds, and they have a border. And for ghosting, I always use the inners. The borders are for borders. We're just making backgrounds here. So I'm just going to place it on and then I'm just going to lightly spritz over with water. I'm going to lift the stencil up and I'm going to flip it and press off the excess water somewhere else. Then I'm going to take the kitchen roll and I'm just going to roll over the top and blot. And can you see what's happening? Because my inks are reactive with water, it's taking some of that ink away and giving a ghosted effect. So I'm going to move over here. I'm going to add some more ink, more water, sorry, there. I'm going to flip the stencil and press it down there. And I'm going to add a bit more water at the bottom. And then I give it time to react with the inks and then just roll the kitchen roll across the top. Okay, so we've got a layer of ink and then we've taken one layer away, so it's starting to look really nice and layered and dimensional. I'm going to add more ink on the top now. So because this is wet, if I add more ink on the top, it will bleed. So I'm just going to very lightly waft my heat gun, my heat tool over the top, Again, we don't need to cook this. I see people in the pages are curling. It's not a piece of fried chicken. It doesn't need to go under the grill. It just needs to be not wet, really. So then I'm going to take, I'll probably take the same stencil actually, and I'm going to add some more colour back on. I'm going to take the same stencil in the smaller size. So I'm going to come over here, I'm going to take the pink, I'm going to lightly spritz through, lift it, turn it, blot it, maybe spritz a bit more through here, blot it, spritz, blot, spritz, and then I'm just going to roll it over the top. So as you can see now, we had the original, we've had the ghosting where it's taken it away, and now we've added another layer over the top. And then I'm going to take another stencil. You can see on the stencil I've got large letters and small letters all mingled in. I just love that random look that you get. And then just blot. And now let's have a look what we've got. Oh, I just love them. I just love seeing them with all the different layers on. And I've used the same colours that I used underneath, and you can see they layer up beautifully. You can see, even though this is on the pink, this is still orange. Really, really nice colours. So I'm going to add, I could stop at that and I could add all my other different things, but I'm just going to add a bit more on. My background stamps. This is one of my background sets. This is basic backgrounds. And you can see that they actually match some of the stencils, which was intentional. That's cool. So I'm going to take the numbers, I think. We'll take the numbers stamp. And I'm going to add some more ink on it, but I'm going to use it with ink. So I'm going to spritz a little bit of ink onto my mat. My number stamps, all of my background stamps, I don't actually put on blocks. I prefer to see, you see when I've sprayed here, I've tried to spray a different bit, so every bit looks different, and I try to do that with my stamps. So I'm just going to tap my stamp through the ink. So I've got some ink on, and I'm going to hold it in my hand like this, and I have it sort of circular, and I'm just going to place it down and I'm just going to rock it on, and then so each time, then I'm going to re-ink, I'll get a different bit of that stamp showing. Gorgeous. And then I'm just going to blot it. And then I'm going to take the spots as well. And I'm going to add a different colour. I'm going to pop some of the red in, but I'm going to mix it in with this pink that's already on here. So I'm going to just dab my stamp through, pick it up, always blot every time, and then just blot off your stamp. If you're bothered about any on the stamp there, if you just spritz a bit of water, press your kitchen roll on, your stamp will come totally clean, ready for next time. So there you go. That's my ghosting and inked background. Have fun. Thanks for joining me. Bye.